and I've been transcribing them because I find that people are more comfortable just talking freely and just venting their opinions, which is good also. Gives me a lot more work to do, but I don't mind. I would love to hear your opinion, because you've done a lot of work for us. Like, sometimes I look at your work and I kind of like, I don't know if you're a dibia per se, but I would say that you're like, the canons of the Old Testament that translate and transcribe and explain what the Old Testament is to people who are not of that religion. That's how I kind of see what you've been doing. And I think it's awesome. I'm yet to find out if I'm genuinely Miri, Wanyi. That's what people say I am. We'll find out. You can tell me, actually.
It's a very good question, and the answer is complicated, and I think my answer might be a little boring. So I think there's a glitch in the way we do things meets the modern world, right? So in our culture, a lot of these things are not taught, they're experienced, right? So you would learn them by seeing them around you or experiencing them, or when it's your time to do the thing you. So for example, even though, I do the work I do, I didn't learn how to do a traditional wedding until during my traditional wedding. Nobody taught me before or after. And if you talk to many people, it's the same thing, right? My father just became the Giofo for our family. So he now holds the Ofo for our family. And he was taught how to use it the minute it entered his hands. And for some reason, this is the way things are typically taught in our culture. So I don't necessarily blame our elders, because a lot of the time, that's how they learned it as well, and that's how they're going to pass it on. Now, in the modern day, we're so widespread of a people that it's becoming impossible to use that model for passing things down. We're also dealing with a lot of misinformation, which is something that they didn't have to deal with as much in the past, right? If every single person witnessed how to do an Nze initiation ceremony, the way that we all witnessed somebody cooking in the kitchen, if it was a regular part of people's lives, it's very hard for somebody to come and start making things up or spreading misinformation, because we've all seen it with our own two eyes. But today, most Igbo people are not witnessing these things firsthand, and they have to learn it by somebody actively teaching, which a lot of our elders are just not equipped to do. They don't know how to, right? It wasn't taught to them. They're not teachers, so on and so forth. So one of your questions was, who is responsible for authentic teachings? The person responsible is actually the community. The community is, right? So, traditionally, if I'm growing up in the village, I'm going to witness all of these things. There's a lot of people in the village who can run their own medicine shell channel very easily because they witness these things themselves. But again, this model is not working. We're a very international people now, and I don't think that's going to ever change. In fact, I don't even think it's a bad thing. So one of the things we can do is to begin teaching actively, right? So instead of expecting the community to teach people by witnessing, to actively start teaching, setting up schools that teach Igbo, setting up schools that teach culture, setting up schools that teach different things, having discussions with each other. Young people need to start asking questions. Again, these things are encountered. So your parents aren't going to think, okay, I'm going to tell them about this and this and that, because no, they didn't ask their parents either. It just happened, right? So young people need to start asking their elders questions. There are things that your mother or your father will tell you that will blow your mind, that you'll even wonder how this person kept this thing to themselves this whole time. But to them, it's ordinary. It's not anything that is remote. Another thing we can do is we have to begin teaching our culture through the arts, right? So yes, we're not a part of a physical village, but we're all a part of a digital village. Andy, take it easy. We're all a part of a digital village, right? So things like videos, things like there's a lot of people who do drone videos of like different places in Igbo land, travel videos, different places in Igbo land. Some people will go to different masquerades and show people, so that if I can't physically witness it, I can digitally witness it. Another level is literature. You can write books, you can make comics, you can make cartoons, you can do all these things, and as you're doing them, you speak to the elders, you get the knowledge necessary to do the thing you're doing, but you infuse it in whatever art you're you're doing so that we can still experience it in our day-to-day lives without physically being in the village, because a lot of people are infusing these concepts in their music. Chinaza Adibo is a good example. There are people who make Instagram posts every now and then, or they infuse it in their businesses and things they do. I have a brother-in-law who has a clothing line, and he uses Nsibidi for his symbols. All of these things allow us to experience the culture firsthand. If the only role the elders would really have in this case would be us asking them questions, maybe to verify for accuracy or to see what they know, but it's not their job anymore. They've gone as far as they can go. It's our job to now represent our culture in a way that we can access from anywhere in the world, whether or not somebody's parents choose to teach them or not. I wish I had played your voice notes before making my 20 voice notes, because I'm assuming you'd want something more concise. So maybe you can just take the one that works the best and present it. But yeah, thanks for your kind words. I really appreciate that. And hats off to you too. You're doing a lot of important work, and it's very well appreciated. I would not doubt that you are is and why. So only time will reveal that.